Hello everybody, welcome back to Strategic Command Paradox Game of Playing. So no immediate threat on England it seems. I'm not gonna do anything here. We got the sub though, it's ready to go. Let's bring it out and disrupt that convoy line right there. And then we have the sub, which I can attack straight away. 2 damage. Bring one in from the other side. Submarine dives. Question is, where did it go? There it is. And submarine dives. So for some reason that is very difficult. I guess it can just move out of the way, can't it? I could try and bring in some cruisers. No, it's okay. We got one more destroyer, I'll move it over here. And then the Canadians cannot reinforce for some reason. Maybe I should do that in England, just keep them in England. Supplies back up, let's bring them out. Right, so in the med, how much can we reinforce with? 3 points only, up to 8. Let's bring the ships home. That's not going to do any good. Right, pulled out completely. Zoom in a little bit and let's see if we can finish off that Italian nuisance. With some prepared attacks. Finally. Come up here. Take this town. And enemy contact with the headquarters. Maybe we could take it out. No. Yeah, no. No, I can't reach it. Right, so I will not move in just yet. I'll move these guys over here. I will bring the headquarters forward next turn. You can still make it out with that headquarters. But at least we're making gains now in the desert. Tobruk is going to be a bit harder. It's got entrenchment level 6. I could just bypass it, leave a couple of corps behind, and move the headquarters around, and then just take the rest before we head back to Tobruk. That is an option. The Soviets. This Mexican standoff. Research. I don't think I'm going to research anything else with the Soviets right now. I'm just going to build units. So what can we build? Lots and lots of units. They only cost 71, so I can build 2. Let's get 2 cores. And then research-wise, the US are gonna start on production technology. And then the Brits are not gonna start up anything. So we could build another core, the last one actually. Let's do that. Alright. Let's check the diplomacy. 44-36 still. Alright, so I expect the headquarters to head back towards Benghazi. And the submarine will get out of the way. Foreign Minister reports diplomatic success, USA towards the Allies 10%. That's really good. And USSR develops advanced tanks. I don't have any tanks right now. Also advanced aircraft. So I could upgrade my fighters. 346. The US is stepping up its production now, it looks like. And the USSR slightly up as well. There's a dust storm in Africa. Yeah, the headquarters has moved up there. That means it cannot reinforce. So I should probably try and search for it and then take it out. The submarine went straight south. And more German units are arriving on the Eastern Front. And that would smash my head in if they attack me right now. At least they would push me seriously back. Of course I'll get the reinforcements. USA deploys destroyer to protect shipping in the North Atlantic. And we got the raiders back. Alright, fast turns right now. Anthony Eden. Given the threats now facing our convoy routes from around the world, the US government has offered us some destroyers in return for bases in the Caribbean and British Guiana. Although these 5 destroyers units will need repairs and fitting out to prepare them for service, their numbers could really help to keep the Atlantic safe of our shipping. In addition, this evidence of US support for our struggle will boost our national morale by 1,000 points. However, by agreeing to this, the transfer of bases will roughly halve our imports from the British Empire and Caribbean. Shall we agree to the US proposal to swap destroyers for bases? So what will I get? I will get some destroyers and 1,000 points of national morale, and it will cost me half of my imports from the British Empire and Caribbean. How much is that? Let's see, if you say yes to this, then the UK receives 3 destroyers, actually 5 destroyers. Income from here will be reduced, but at least with these destroyers we will be better able to protect our convoy routes. I'm not concerned about my convoy routes actually. So do I really need extra destroyers? I think I need the points more. I don't know how many points I will actually lose. How can I see that? How many destroyers do I have? Currently 7 plus the US one. That's 8. I think that's more than enough. And 1 in the Med. I think I'll take the points. I'm going with no. Our 7th Armored Division in Egypt is very incomplete, having only about 65 obsolete vehicles, very few of which are combat worthy. We're currently in the process of completing 150 new tanks that will soon be ready for service, and given the Axis threat to our position in Egypt, it is recommended that these new tanks be sent there to strengthen 7th Armored. However, sending these tanks to Egypt will require a heavily armed naval convoy that will cost us 45 points, and the tanks won't arrive there until mid-October. Would you like to send these tanks to Egypt in order to reinforce 7th Armored, or would you rather deploy these tanks in the UK for the defense of our home country? Let's see. It's essential to secure the safety of your position there. So the only reason to say no is if UK is getting invaded, which it is not. Okay. Alright, it's a lot of points though, 45, but okay. We'll say yes to that. Now, Henry Stimson. Some important aircraft orders that had been placed in our country by the French government are nearing completion. Obviously, they cannot be delivered to France now that it has fallen, so we can either use them to supply much needed aircraft to the UK and Canada, or we can use them to equip our own air force. If we give them to the UK and Canada, then the UK will receive a tactical bomber unit, Canada a maritime bomber unit. Delivering them will cost us 25. If we keep them, then we will receive a tactical bomber and a medium bomber unit. Would you like to send these aircraft to the UK and Canada, or retain them for our own use? Well, a tactical and a maritime versus a tactical and a medium. I really like the tacticals. What is best, a maritime or a medium? Plus, if I take the UK and Canada, I will get them to use them right now. USA is not even in the war yet. So I think I'll say yes and send them to UK and Canada. US delivers aircraft to Liverpool and Newfoundland. And we got another battleship, the Duke of York, which will be in service right here. And the 23rd Army in the USSR is also ready, which we will position there. Right, so let's see, point-wise, the US should be able to start up some more research. We got everything going over here. And we got mobility. So infantry weapons, anti-tank, advanced tanks, advanced aircraft, naval. I don't really want any of this. So there's no research going to go on for now. That means we can start purchasing some stuff. Another... How far is the Soviet research? It's only at 63. So let's buy another Soviet core. And then the US can start working on... Let's see. Well, they could start working on their regular troops. Or just save up some points, doesn't really matter. I think we just save up the points then. And the Brits... let's wait until we see how many points we actually have at our disposal. Now, first off, we'll see if we can find that sub. It went south, but you know, it could be anywhere. Zigzag around a little bit, nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. Oh, there it is. Great. It was right next to me. Takes it down to 3, but all the other destroyers have already moved. Now we can move the Canadians up. And we got some maritime bombers. Let's see if we can do some operate. No. I guess they have to stay there. They can scout. And the British bombers will take them down here. So, back into the Mediterranean. And we'll zoom in a little bit. I can actually see that headquarter right there. So Tobruk is currently at supply level. It doesn't say. These guys are supply 4. Move them over there. Take out that headquarter. Come down this way. Take out this one. And let's start to move around. Alright, so the battleships, we can position them over here. They're not going to get any better than 8. Get them ready there, and then the aircraft will be in range, supported by another battleship, and the destroyer, and the submarine and the cruiser will head back for replenishments. There we go. Right, so that leaves us with 448 points, plenty to purchase some stuff. Another Soviet headquarter would actually be nice, but they don't have any points. The Brits are out of core, so next up is armies and another headquarter. Or I could start some more bombers and fighters. Oh, heavy artillery. I need some heavy artillery actually. It's going to cost 240, so that's pretty expensive. Let's get one of those. I think that's all I'm going to buy right now. So we've got the Canadians coming in, plus I have 3 more corps and then the artillery. Wait a minute, why don't I start out the infantry weapons research level 2? Let's just get that going right now. Alright, let's hit the button. So, it is proposed that we launch an attack on Dakar in French West Africa using Royal Marines and Free French units. Some of the gold reserves of the French, Belgian and Polish governments are held there, and their capture could prove of significant financial worth. If successful, General de Gaulle's prestige will increase, and our own economic situation could be improved by the capture of the gold reserves. Nevertheless, attacking Dakar could trigger the Vichy authorities in France and North Africa to swing towards the Axis. Preparing an attack on Dakar, codename Operation Menace, will cost us 30 points. Would you like to launch Operation Menace and raid Dakar? Let's check out the notes. The raid has only a 20% chance of success, but if successful, the UK will receive 200 MPPs representing the capture of the gold, and a little bit of morale. If unsuccessful, the Vichy, France, Algeria and Tunisia all have a 20% chance of moving. Okay, so only 20% chance of success, but it's also only 20% chance of these countries moving towards the Axis. Plus, that's only 5 to 8%. So I'm gaining 200 points. That means I'm spending 30 to gain 200. Yeah, let's try that. Vichy France protests. Which means what? Didn't work. As we find ourselves more and more drawn to the Allies, one thing we could do to assist the British in their struggle would be to allow their ships access to one of our ports. The port of Providence to the east of New York appears to the most suitable. Of course, should we enter the war, then the port would automatically return to our control. Would you like to assist the British by granting them permission to dock their ships at Providence? It will cost nothing. So why not? The Triumphant is seized at Plymouth and given to the Free French Navy. That was difficult to say, Free French. So that's another light cruiser. British and Free French units failed to capture Dakar. Okay, so we failed that. And we got long range aircraft level 1. USSR develops infantry weapons level 1. Wow, that was good. So that means we are gonna use all our points to upgrade the US units henceforth. But let's check out the Axis turn first. And they could have just attacked me right now before I could do it. The submarine went southeast, but did not bump into one of those destroyers. I'll try and search and destroy it. More Germans are advancing to the east. And neither Hungary, Romania or Bulgaria has joined the Axis yet. Now we got the convoys disrupted. I think that's it. That's usually the last thing. Yeah. So let's see if there's any pop-ups. Now we have the First Corps in Halifax. The Canadians come in here. And the USS Engineers. So they should start up the defense of Moscow. Let's place them in front of Moscow. And that's it for the turn. So I think we'll put a break in here. Thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.